from what's the? God, I always forget the name of the high school. Gosh,
Conestoga.
No,
CSB.
No, it's not CSB. She's not going to. I cannot think of it.
ITT Tech.
The stop eganing me.
Stop did too
it.
that time.
Stop.
Bob started it.
I didn't. It was an honest question.
And I can't remember. But we were up at their house yesterday, and they had a beautiful graduation party for her. And so my cousin Steve D'Angelo, my cousin Heather, his wife, had gotten balloons 2023.
What color were they?
Gold.
All right, so maybe this will help us think of the school.
No, it's not that one. The tornado went through right next to them, and actually,
it's right near Jamie's.
Yes, right near Jamie's, up in that neck of the woods, and I can't. Jamie Frankel lives right near there, and everything. But I can't. Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin High School.
UD.
So Allegra will graduate on Wednesday from Upper Dublin and then go to Florida in the fall. So they had these giant 2023 balloons. So Steve let the 20 fly off. He didn't attach them to the fence properly.
Oh, no.
And let's just say Heather let him know it. So what did Steve do to try to salvage getting back the balloons quickly? What did he do as they were sort of drifting off? He shot them.
Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
With what?
A BB gun.
Probably not a good idea.
He went and grabbed his BB gun, and he hit. He hit it.
Yeah, it's a BB gun. There's nothing wrong with that.
He thought that it would just put a small hole in the...
And then he could patch it and blow it back up. No, those things explode.
I would have just cut my ties right there. Oh, well, sorry.
And they were talking about that Heather got a little colorful with Steve. About, I can't believe it. And I said, and my wife goes, see, honey? She went off on Steve, so it's very common. And then my cousin Michelle and Danny were there, and Michelle's like, oh, I cuss him out at least once a week. And I said, I've never cussed out my spouse. Ever. And Michelle was beside herself. Aren't you perfect? And I'm like, no, I'm not Cousin Shell. I'm not perfect. I just would never curse out my spouse. Nothing could make me curse out my wife.
I may have had reason to this weekend, but I didn't.
What did she do?
Oh, yeah, you did.
But you don't curse her out. You wouldn't curse her out.
No, I've never ever cursed.
No.
So my wife has a tendency to be in control of things. And I'll give you an example. We were down the shore at my brother-in-law's house Friday night. I had a hat sitting on the island. Inside the hat, I had my keys to the car and my sunglasses.
Okay.
So I knew the next day they would be there.
All together in one space.
Go back there that night. Look, keys are gone. Donna, what'd you do with the keys? Oh, they're in my pocketbook. Why? They weren't good enough where they were? Oh, no, I just wanted to make sure that we had them. Okay, I let it go. We go to the beach on Saturday. We go visit friends in Avalon on Saturday. Go to the beach. We're sitting on the beach. You know, got great parking spots, unloaded the car, everything's there. Donna says, where are the keys? I said, I don't know. They got to be somewhere. I mean, you know, I must
We just drove here.
Always put them down. Always put them down. Can't find them nowhere. I go running back up, scrape up my feet. I'm looking. I go back to the place where we were, all this stuff. I'm digging through sand, everything. And we had another car, so it wasn't that bad of a thing. But then all of a sudden, a little later, I go down by the water where we were playing bucket ball, and I'm looking through the sand there, and she starts screaming, no, I got it, found it.
Where were they?
Up. Where were they? In my pocketbook.
Okay,
so wherever I put them, she grabbed them and put them in her pocketbook.
Okay, stop doing that, Donna. Stop.
Yeah.
Or at least know that you did it.
And it kind of just went over casually. You know, oh, yeah, here, there, ha, ha, ha. If that was me, however, now, God bless her, she wasn't making a big deal of it to begin with. But then I started thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Did she not make a big deal about it because she knew that she had done something to it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
there you go. Just saying.
I had reason to be mad, but I didn't.
But you did. You did the right thing,
Connor.
Proud of you, Bobby.
Thank you. Now, you, on the other hand, can you not hold your anger?
I can.
I know you guys went through this on Friday, but I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet about it. Don't get thrown out of men's basketball games. You look like an idiot.
I didn't throw myself out.
That's it.
They
That's
threw
all
me
I have
out.
to say
Get
about
thrown
that.
out.
I remember one time I was playing in a league. I was about 30, 32, 35, something like that. And I complained to the refs, this guy, Timmy Kelly, who's a friend. And he just turned. He's like, Coon, would you stop complaining?
It's a freaking pickup game.
And it hit me like I was complaining because I was pissed that I wasn't as good as I used to be. And I was getting frustrated. So I just stopped.
There
Just
you go.
stop. Stop complaining. Stop.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
It
I-
means
it's-
something to me, damn
It's
it.
cool that you're competitive, but don't take it out on
Yeah,
others.
don't do
Stop.
that. Not on a guest referee or
Be better at your job.
No, you
You
were
be better.
wrong. The referee corrected you. You were
Be
wrong.
better at your job.
You were wrong.
If
I
you were
had-
better at yours, you wouldn't have been down 6
My-
points and complaining. So shut up.
That's not my job. I'm not getting paid to do that. I'm the consumer.
But you were wrong.
I'm the consumer. The customer's always
We
right.
had an actual high school official here in town.
Okay.
Stepped in and said flat out Connor had the call wrong.
I mean, that's
You
always.
do not have
it's
to have a kicking.
kickball.
I thought you had to have a kicking motion. So I was agreeing with Connor, and he said, "John, you're incorrect."
No,
It does
the
not-
ball hits you below the knee. It's,
And you have, but
It's a
you
kickball,
have to,
correct. That's
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying.
try to get a kicking or whatever. You have to intentionally put your leg in the way of the ball.
interesting.
You don't have to kick, but you have to make sure your leg's sort of stuck out there. Big announcement coming up here quickly. There is something, though, I wanted to say as we begin the 8 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show. I saw a story this weekend about one of my favorite products in the entire world, and it fascinated me. And then I was racking my brain going, find me another product that could do this. I love Cheez-Its. Me and Tommy Cooney
Yes.
love our Cheez-Its.
He's a cheese it.
Cheez-Its is the best. And right now, as I'm doing everything I'm doing right now, trying to get myself ready to go, Cheez-Its are one of the only that can calm my stomach, and I love it. Little Cheez-Its. I saw a fascinating story. Have you seen how big, when they in the store now, they have the extra toasty Cheez-Its?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, Bob, you've seen them. I brought them for Coach and for Chuck D'Amico. They both love them because they're psychopaths. They both enjoy a burnt Cheez-It. Do you know now the toasted the extra toasty Cheez-It is almost as popular as the regular? It's almost as popular. And here's the mind-blowing fact. They used to throw them away.
No.
Wow.
For years, decades, if they were burnt on the sides, they threw them away or donated them or whatever. They never sold them. Employees, they say, would take them in bags home. So they would know that employees would know, okay, these are still pretty tasty. I like them. They never thought to sell them. For years, they could have made hundreds of millions of dollars for years on stuff that they were throwing away.
Unbelievable.
Can you think of another product where they mess up in its production and they could sell? Because that's the next thing I'm thinking of.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, we know that one. Is there a product?
funny.
Is there a food product that they could make a mistake in and then sell the mistake? They almost 30 years they were throwing away burnt Cheez-Its.
So
Now they sell them. Now they sell them, and they're making millions.
yeah, I think it might be Keebler has like a cookie where they have like the fudge stripes, and then they have one called like the oopsies. Now it might be on purpose, but it's like the whole thing is covered. It's like so you get double the fudge or whatever. So it's almost like, oh, we messed up and we accidentally put too much fudge on here.
But that's not a real mistake.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I could, if any listener can think of a product where they could sell the mistake.
I'll tell you, I don't mind a well-done soft pretzel.
See, I do not like them at all.
Oh, Connor.
See, I do not like, if I taste the smoky taste, you know that when you get a soft pretzel and it has sort of like that burnt,
Yeah.
I hate it.
Huh.
I don't like that.
Ooh, I don't mind like the Dorito like dust. If you were just to sell that as something that you could coat stuff in. Like the
really?
bottom
Like
of
to
the
make
bag.
or
Yeah, or like the crumbs.
Like a chicken wing?
you can make chicken wings, or you could make
Yeah.
a chicken breast.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing, but I think that's a little different than a
Right.
mistake
Yes.
that they used to throw away.
It's a tough question because no one would throw away something that could make them a bunch of money.
By the way, I love you, Cheez-Its. You're freaking awesome. You're absolutely awesome. Jamie Frankel said donut holes. Now, there was a long time where they did not use them.
Oh, really? Okay.
See, you're too young. You
I've
don't
always
remember.
seen Munchkins. I've been a Munchkin kid forever.
And Munchkins didn't exist until Bob and I were children. I remember them being introduced.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were kids when they put the Dunkin' Munchkins as a big deal. So, all right, we have a major announcement, Connor. Let's get to it. We want you today to go into work and say that on Monday, July 31st, you ain't showing up. Now, don't tell them to take the job and shove it, but you need off Monday, July 31st, because where you going to be? You're going to be at the Fanatic's 2023 Charity Golf Classic, which benefits the American Association for Cancer Research's John Kincade Scholarship Fund at beautiful. And Connor, I can't wait for you to play this place because I know you are going to love it. Jamie Lynch is going to love it. And I think that Bob Cooney will be able to score quite well. The beautiful Turtle Creek Golf Course in Limerick, Pennsylvania. I've talked about Turtle Creek on the air. One of my favorite golf courses locally since I've been home.
I like turtles.
Well, you know what you like about it is, Connor, you're going to be able to bomb a bit off the tee without it being like, it's not an incredibly, there's probably 5 or 6 holes in the courses that penalize you for really trying to rip it.
So it's pretty open. You got a chance to go after it. I love that. That's what's fun for a tournament, right? For a little outing.
Absolutely.
You don't want to hit iron off the tee box.
No, you're not going to be. This is not a punitive golf course. And we're going to have a great time there. We'll be broadcasting live that day. Anthony will broadcast live too there. Everybody from the Fanatic will be hanging out. Tee time is 11 a.m. Lunch and dinner are included. And every player gets a pair of tickets to FanFest 2023. You can reserve your spot right now at 97.5thefanatic.com for the Fanatic's 2023 Charity Golf Classic at beautiful Turtle Creek Golf Course. Bob, we've seen Jamie off the tee, and Jamie can get really sort of nutty going for it. Ricky Batalico off the tee. This plays to you guys. Have a big hitter in your foursome, and you're really going to be able to score. It's going to be a great, great time because it's not a punitive golf course. It is a great golf course for an outing, and we're going to have a blast that day. And I can't wait to see you all out there. I will not be. I'm a little disappointed. I will not be able to golf in the event because I was like, let's have it at Turtle Creek. I love this place. I will not be able to golf in the event that day. Golf for me at that time. I'll be 6. I think I'll be 5 treatments in. I will not be able to golf, but I'll be there. I will be cheering you on. I'll be looking forward to watching you all, and I will be there to critique our own golfers. See how Bob's doing. See how Connor's doing.
I'm in for that.
See how Jamie's doing.
Sounds fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great day. 97.5thefanatic.com. Monday, July 31st. So end July the right way with us. I want to get this in here. Mike in Glenwood had a throwaway product idea. Mike, what was it? Mike.
It was, the Schneider's hard pretzels. They used to, the little pieces that all the pretzels broke, they used to toss them. Now they make them like in Buffalo, like every flavor under the sun, and they're one of their top selling things that they make.
See, I didn't realize that they used to throw that away? The broken ones?
Yeah, those crumbles. Yeah, I have a buddy that was a salesman for them. And
I love those, by the way. The Buffalo are amazing.
Yeah, and Pepperidge Farm, too. My in-law's neighbor used to work there, and he used to bring home, like, the broken cookies.
Uh-huh.
And they don't market them now, as far as I know, like in the grocery stores and stuff, but they have their own, like, little store.
Oh, yeah.
Plant where you can buy them, like, at a discounted rate. They don't even come in a cookie bag. They're like in a big, like, bread bag.
That's
you
awesome.
can buy busted up chocolate chip cookies, and they're unreal. It's just small pieces of chocolate chip cookies. You know what I mean? They're still the same cookie.
Good
the
job.
Ingredients are the same. They're just broken up.
Good job, Mikey. Appreciate it, buddy. Mike sounds like my buddy Chris McDonald. I have a friend of him sounds just like him. If I closed my eyes, I would hear Chris talking.
Maybe Chris was...
I don't think Chris is calling it now. I don't think he'd do that. John checks in. John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good. What's the throwaway product?
How about door flame logs? You know what they make them out of?
No, what?
Sawdust that people throw away and wax that people throw away.
That makes sense.
How do you get wax that people throw away, though?
Check their ears.
We get. I used to work there. They get tankers in of wax.
Wow.
Tankers and tractor trailers of sawdust.
I like the Duraflame. Like, I was a big fan of
Not
the
good
Duraflame.
for you, apparently.
What?
What do you mean?
Why not?
I could be speaking wrong here, but there's some kind of a thing that you don't want to burn in your house too much because it's not good for you.
Some of the like
And the
vapors
door
or
flame,
something.
after you do it, if you see the remnants of it after it all burns through, I understand what John is saying then.
It's sort of waxy, you're saying?
It's you can see the sawdust and all that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible, man.
I'm a normal woodsman. I like just the regular wood.
You're the woodiest woodsman out there.
Probably.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Jeff in Camden checks in on the Phillies. Jeff, good morning. You're on the Fanatic.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, Jeff.
So I've been to your studio quite a few times. First, I was there with Harry Mays, who
We
who
love
actually
Harry.
he showed up at my thing at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Me and him, man, we've been chums for a long time.
That's awesome. He's constantly playing golf and enjoying a cocktail. Harry's, he's my hero.
He'd still be there if not for Tony Bruno, who's okay, but he's just got some mental problems.
I love Tony.
I met Tony. He's on NFL. He's on the NFL game.
Okay, what are you calling for?
Baseball.
Okay.
Baseball. The bats finally came to life yesterday. Yesterday, not Saturday, because that was a hot, stinking turd on the field Saturday. That was a stupid attack. That was
It
not
was.
cool.
The bats did come alive, but I'm anxious to see what they do in Arizona.
What are we going to do about Aaron Nola, man? This guy is not looking like the ace that looks like he wants to get paid.
I'm going to
It's
say,
about trading him.
well, you can't trade him because you're all in on this year.
Yeah, that would be
So he
stupid to
cannot
trade
be
him.
traded.
No.
So you're just going to have to. You do get if he signs elsewhere, you're going to get a second or third round draft pick or something like that, isn't it?
I guess, but what do you guys see that in 2027?
No, I got you, but I mean, there is some value, but you can't trade him.
No, because
You're all in on this year.
He could be terrible the rest of the year, and he's going to end up having an opportunity in the postseason if you make it there, and you still know that on his best day, he can go like 8 shutout innings.
Remember the game to close out the division in Houston, which was a spectacular outing. His first outing against the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, his Saturday night at the Cardinals, and then his first outing against the Braves. He put 3 A-plus efforts together in a row, and then it fell out.
Right, but
Again.
he's too talented not to have him on this team if you're competing. He's just not consistent enough for you to give him the big payday he wants.
Yeah, if you can get him at a decent price, I'm not at the point where, he sucks, get him out of here.
No.
He's inconsistent, but he's a top. If you're going to have him in your rotation, that's okay. You know what I mean? If I'm not expecting him to be a 2, and I say, yeah, he's in our rotation, he's one of 5 in the rotation, I'm okay with it like that, if you can look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want to see him traded. No. First of all, you can't. What are you going to do? You need him. You just need him to come through for you.
Right.
Jeff used a word that Connor and I kind of laughed at and thought, and Connor said it's an underrated, underused word. Chums. He said that he and Harry were chums.
Love chums.
Chums isn't bad.
I mean, it's
Pretty good word.
I haven't heard it since
used it. I don't think I've ever used it.
That's from like the Hardy Boys type stuff.
Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's an
Batman
older
used to call Robin chum.
I don't think it's making a comeback, but Jeff is trying, and I appreciate that.
He is.
Yeah, chums.
He's.
We're
Chums is also used when you're fishing for sharks.
You're not fishing.
You
for
chum the
shark.
water. Some people are.
Are you fish for sharks?
Some people do. I would not.
Or is chum in the water? I thought for other fish, not for sharks.
I'm sure it could be for other
When
predatory
Jaws,
fish
they were
too.
doing the chum,
Yeah.
trying
Yes.
to catch him or
That
her.
fat kid on the raft was chum.
Wait a minute. Was Jaws male or female? The actor who played the shark.
Don't know. I didn't
I
look.
don't know.
Did they hire a male or a female
Didn't see.
I'll look into it.
in the suit? Right, because that was somebody in a suit, sort of like on Scooby Doo, right?
Exactly.
Or was it a robot?
I think it was.
That was a robot, I
Mechanical.
think.
Yes.
Yeah,
a
it was, but
mechanical shark.
they had a major issue with it. The shark was supposed to be in it more, and right before they went to production, something super wrong happened with the animatron thing, and that's why you don't see the shark all that often. It was supposed to be in it a lot more, but they had to adapt the script.
I heard it didn't like the pay it was getting.
That's
So
it.
was-
We're held out.
There was sexual harassment on the set. The shark got thing and then quit halfway through it.
It was picketing. Thousands of sharks turned out.
Didn't like the chum.
Yeah, thousands. The Inquirer said thousands showed up. There was too much. How bad had the Phillies been versus Arizona? I'll tell you. Plus, Bob's got a Cooney's column, and I got 5 questions, Eagles questions, with Kincade. Stick around. John Kincade Show.
back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Got a Cooney's column coming up for you here in just a few moments, and 5 Eagles questions with Kincade. Bob gets 2 today. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bob gets to double dip like he would do if he had Colonel Season's popcorn seasoning around the house. Turn up the flavor on your popcorn. Add interesting with Colonel Seasons today, available in the popcorn aisle. A lot of people have been checking in this morning on social media. Maria Rosinski sends a note along and says, I want more information about the Sixers arena. I lean towards building the stadium, but I want to hear from everyone involved. Maria, you're a bright woman. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm leaning towards wanting it to be done, but I want to hear all the information. I want to hear the pros and cons. I don't want to just hear every negative angle thrown at me, because there are a ton of positives, or the NBA wouldn't be so successful in downtown arenas. And Bob, you've talked about it from covering the league. There are downtown arenas all over the NBA, and many teams have moved to downtown arenas.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Like Detroit's a classic example. They were all the way out in Auburn Hills, which is a 40-minute ride from downtown. And then they built an arena downtown, and everything seems to be fine. I hear what people complain about, taking public transportation, and people won't do that here. Well, if it's there for you and you can, you might, yeah.
Nigel says, irregular Milanos from the Downingtown Pepperidge Farm Factory back in the 90s would be sold by the large bag to employees. The irregularity was almost always too much chocolate.
Is there such a thing?
I don't like the Milano cookies.
Oh, I love the Milanos.
I'm speaking in our house.
My father was a big fan of the Milano cookies.
Did your father drink coffee and eat them, or tea?
Coffee after dinner every night.
And a Milano.
And well, not every night, but yeah, a treat would be a Milano.
Yes, that seems to be like, I always associate seeing somebody not from our generation eating them with like a tea or something like that. Old St. Nick Foles said a food that was created by mistake was the burn ends in barbecued restaurants. They smoked the brisket and the caps that would be burned, they used to cut off and throw out. Now they sell them as an appetizer. I love burn ends.
I totally get that. I mean, it's kind of in the name, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember that at barbecue joints 25 years ago.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I always assumed that they were something that you didn't use in the past because they're called the burnt ends.
Reese's Cups. They overcooked the peanuts for Reese's Cups, and the inventor thought the flavor was better, and he had them made that the rest of the way. He heard that on the History Channel.
Wow. There's a lot of food stuff I had no idea about.
Mark O says Oreos started selling crumbles and broken cookies to be used to make desserts at home. Now you can get the containers. They used to throw away all the broken cookies and the crumbles.
Wow. Because my wife makes a dessert where it calls for crumbled Oreos.
Is that a crust of crumbled Oreos? Because I may cry. Could she make it tonight?
It's not the crust, I don't think.
I love the Oreo.
But I have to sit there and pound out the Oreo with my fist to get them into little pieces for her to make her dessert.
We got to work on your phrasing, Cooney.
Yeah, she's upset at me today, too. I got a text from her after the keys story.
What's the problem?
She said, oh, my God, why don't you tell them how often you lose your keys on your own?
Well, we know that.
You do leave stuff around a lot.
We work with you. You do go, I can't find my key. I can't find whatever.
She's right all the time. But in this particular instance,
well, wait a minute. If your keys are in your hat, then absolutely, then they're not going to get lost. They're in your hat.
You don't
with your
live with me. They get lost all the time.
And a Karate Mark checks in that they got cheese fries the other night, and the waiter or waitress brought over a thing, and they poured broken Cheez-Its on their fries. That sounds spectacular.
That's pretty cool. I was texting with Mark this weekend. We were trying to hook up, but yeah, he lives a good life.
Phrasing, Bob. Phrasing.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we're trying to hook up, get together, hang out.
Wow.
Hang out.
You guys are just weird. We're chums.
Chums.
You're something.
Mark and I are chums.
Okay, the rumor from John Brightcliffe. We believe John. He's a firefighter. He's a good dude. He said the rumor is Keystone Light is dented Coors Light cans. That they're the cans that fall off the assembly line. because every Keystone can apparently has a dent. Now, here's the only thing I'm going to say. I've heard that about Keystone, that the Keystone beer, that supposedly each of the cans has a dent. So now that's the second time I've heard the story, but I hadn't heard that it was something that maybe fell off. And that could be an urban legend, but...
Yeah, I don't really inspect the cans of beer I drink. They're going too fast for that.
There you go.
Haha, get it? I drink
Cool
beer
guy.
fast.
You like to drink
cool
your beer
dude.
fast.
Did you drink a lot after you got thrown out of your basketball game?
I had 2 drinks.
You had 2 drinks after you got thrown out.
Yes.
Because you had to really, get that out of there.
Yeah, I was fine. I was fine as soon as the game was over. I let it all out. Got my money's worth. I leave everything on the court.
I wish I knew that official that you berated, the gentleman who was there, just there being an official that you berated incorrectly, by the way. I wish I knew him. I'd get him FanFest tickets.
I tried
to do
to
something for him.
I actually tried to reach out to him to get him on the Saturday show, but he missed the call.
You're getting on him about dad jokes and phrasing and stuff. I mean, come on. Let's get to Cooney's column, please.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's corner.
That's a
Let's turn
corner.
the page and find
There we
out
go.
what's in Cooney's
Now, what did
500.
you say to the official? What is your advice
We're
to the
moving
official?
on. This is Bob's segment.
He berated the
curse?
guy, do your job better, and I won't complain.
Apologize. That's on me. Hand up.
That fell right
I
on
do
you.
need to be better.
That fell right on you. I
you
hit the
curse?
button. People don't realize
What?
I hit the button for that.
Did you curse
Did I curse? What?
at the ref?
Oh, absolutely. Multiple times.
Cursed them out.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
We are no longer chums.
You think I got tossed without cursing?
Hey, it doesn't make sense. Batting Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot, it goes against pretty much every logical argument you can make of what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do and be. But sometimes, especially in the game of baseball, illogical is just part of the game. While manager Rob Thompson has messed with the lineup for much of the season, he did settle in on the 1-2 punch of Bryson Stott and Trey Turner at the top of the order earlier this season. Problem there was Turner's unforeseen struggles at the plate, the likes of which he hadn't endured before. And his and Stott's inability to bunch hits didn't exactly define table setting. So in comes the month of June, and Thompson, with his team sitting at 25-30, toiled with the lineup again just a couple of days later. Schwarber took over the leadoff spot, and the team promptly went on a 4-game winning streak. Does it make sense that a player with a 171 average who strikes out more than twice as many hits as he gets, who is a base clogger of other speedy teammates, be at the beginning of the order? In Schwarber, you have a home run hitter who led the National League last year with close to 50 dingers. So why in the hell would you lead off a player with that resume? Well, it's pretty simple. Because the team wins when the first batter for the Phillies is Schwarber. And really, do you need a better reason? Again, it's inexplicable. But last June, when Thompson decided to stick with Schwarber at the top of the order, the team won 65 of their last 111 games. And now, since lifting Schwarber to the top spot of the lineup on June 2nd, the Phillies have won 7 of 9. Schwarber's numbers haven't exactly been eye-popping, as he's gone 8 for 34 in the 9 games he's led off, with 4 home runs, 8 RBI, 9 runs scored, and 8 walks. But the most important number is this. The Phillies have gone 7-2 since Thompson elevated the Husky outfielder to the top of the order.
Husky.
Maybe it's just a feeling among the players and coaches of familiarity. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it is just totally inexplicable. Whatever it is, the team wins with him there. Numbers, analytics, nothing really can give good evidence as to why. But again, does it really matter?
As long as they're winning, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, it makes no sense.
But they win. So.
And I don't think Rob Thompson, a lot of stuff that he does makes sense. But he's a great players love playing for him.
Yeah, this one
which
works.
is huge.
It doesn't make sense. And he did it last year, and, they had the success that they had, but it just doesn't.
No.
Except they win. So
Except that they win.
why change it? Why? It's the most inexplicable right thing that he does.
I'd say that's fair.
Rob Thompson.
I mean, and I still will say that Captain Hook needs to chill.
Yeah,
Just chill.
yesterday
I
makes
don't
no
get
sense
it.
to me whatsoever.
I think he manages scared.
Well, one other thing that I meant to bring up earlier, forgot to throw in, is just You got to remember, these guys also did, not that you want guys to go shorter after they have good starts, but they did all just throw long innings against the Tigers. It may be a situation where he sees his guys go deep into a game against the Tigers and he gets 3 no-hit bids that go like 7 innings. He's like, okay, we kind of aired him out a little bit to give him a chance to go after that good game last time. Maybe we could get away with the bullpen here. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to talk through why he might have pulled him as early as he did.
And then somebody should have whispered in his ear, yeah, we have a bullpen game tomorrow.
Correct. You have
it.
to think that should override any of that logic. What you said, Connor, is completely logical if they had a day off today. But they don't.
Yeah.
And they have to travel cross country to do it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. I'm just trying to go through like why I don't know. He's not like so far off. I just think he's like you guys are saying, overthinking.
But this is what Caleb Cotham's supposed to be doing, preparing for him for that. And his bench coach is also supposed to be reminding him of, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it now?
Yeah, I feel you.
And just to be a checks and balances. I don't think he's got a good checks and balances going on right now. But again, if he can get this thing turned around again, then he can do it. I don't understand why you have to light the building on fire and then pull a rescue. But for once again, that's exactly where we're at with this team. All right, we got 5 Eagles questions with Kincade today. Haley's going to come in first, then Ray Dunn's also going to come in.
It's time for 5 questions with John Kincade.
I didn't change the thing there to 5 Eagles questions with Kincade, but I'm going to start with Bob and end with Bob.
Question 1.
Bob, the Eagles 2023 training camp slogan would be hard to predict exactly. But what do you think Nick Sirianni's going to make it sound like this year? If you were thinking about
slogan?
you know how he always has his little catchphrases
Yeah, I
and
got
slogans?
it. I got it.
What is it?
One more step.
That's not bad at all.
One more step. You had one more step to take to be world champions. This year, you got to take that one more step.
Connor, I thought on the fly Bob would have to kick that around a little bit.
No,
that's not a bad one at all. One more step.
For a guy who loses his keys a bunch, his mental faculty is still sharp.
I thought of one, don't fumble Jalen.
Yeah.
Could have had a parade, fumbled, but I mean, it's he also had one of the greatest performances we've seen in a Super Bowl. But let's not fumble this time.
You're going to give him the Friday Night Lights treatment where you tape a football to his hands?
How to carry him around?
Yeah. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I like that slogan though.
One more step.
I bet, and you know what, Coach Nick, you can steal that if you wish. Bob, you say full. I mean, you don't want any parts of the T-shirts or anything. You don't need any kickback.
That's it. No, I'm good. I'll take a large shirt.
You'll
if
take
they
a
make
large
them.
shirt if they make
but
them.
No, that's it. One more step.
One more step. I like that. I don't think there's a necessarily better answer.
There's no better answer, Connor.
I'm sure there's a better
Connor,
answer, but I don't have
There's no
one.
better answer.
Did you?
Well,
You didn't
there's
have
always
one.
a better answer.
No, but that's really good. And off the cuff,
That's a great one.
I don't give him these questions beforehand. That's Bob on the fly. See, Donna, his brain's still working. Let's go to question 2.
Question 2.
Hi, Haley.
Hi, John.
How's YouTube?
YouTube's good.
Really lively today, I hope.
It is. The chat's going. The
Good.
YouTube fam, shout out to them.
Good. Love the YouTube family there. We appreciate them. Are you concerned as we start this Eagles season that I would bet that maybe Jason Kelsey and Brandon Graham are both heading into their final ride? I'm wondering what will life look like as an Eagles fan without those two on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think this is their final season. You can put the bet on that. I would, say that they're going to move on. After, the Eagles, the one good thing about them is that they're so good at finding that talent. And I'm not concerned at all, but I do think this is their last season.
I wonder about the leadership, though. Who ascends?
Right.
Who's the next Kelsey or the next Graham?
Well, you're not going to have the next Kelsey and you're not going to have the next Graham. That's impossible, but you will have other leaders. And I think Jalen Hurts is taking this team under his wing. And we're going to see guys like him arise. So I would look more towards those kind of guys.
It appears that the Flyers are the talk of the NHL, by the way.
Yep, they are.
Lots of trades coming.
That's
Looks
a good
like they're
thing.
all coming. So,
it's about time.
There you go.
Thank you, Danny.
Good job, Hale.
Thank you, John.
There we go. Question 3.
Question 3.
Okay, I'm going to give it Connor this one.
Hello.
Connor, you have 3 answers to choose from. Who will be the Eagles' leader in rushing yards? Jalen Hurts, Swift, or Penny?
This is an easy one for me. I think it's DeAndre Swift.
I think it's Jalen Hurts.
Really?
I'm interested to say one though. Why was Swift? Remember, I'm thinking Swift's yards will be fairly evenly split between rushing and receiving.
I agree. I just think he's going to be the primary ball carrier out of the backfield. I imagine Rashad Penny's going to get hurt at some point. He's too injury prone over the course of his career to expect him to be healthy for every game. And you have a good split in the backfield with Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott still back there, but I really think we're going to see DeAndre Swift take a step this year and become more of that bell cow back. And I also think that some of the reports we're hearing out of initial looks at Jalen Hurts is like, oh, he's getting better, pocket passing. He can be an elite pocket passer. To me, reading between the lines of that is they don't want to run him like they ran him last year. They want him to have the ability to. But that shoulder injury, I think, is still something that Nick Sirianni thinks about when he develops a game plan. And I think Hurts is going to spend a little more time in the pocket this year.
He was the leading passer from the pocket last year in effectiveness.
Yeah.
So they got something they can work with.
Certainly do.
But you say that. Bob, same answer. I say Hurts. He says Swift.
Yeah,
Hurts, Swift, Penny. Rushing yards being the only category we're talking about.
I go Swift also, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good news. That'd be great news for Eagle fans.
I think so, because in the two guys that you mentioned as running backs, and then you throw in the guys that were already here in Gainwell, Boston Scott, whatever, I think trying to keep him from taking too many hits is starting to creep into the mindset of the coaches. So that's why I think it is.
Where's Ray Dunn?
I don't know.
Why has Ray Dunn not come in here?
He's like that. He's a selfish bastard.
You're allowed
He's
to
on
come
his
in at
way.
any time.
Come
He's
on.
coming in. Let's get to question 4.
Question 4.
Hi, Ray Dunn.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing fine. As long as you and Tom Albert stop screwing with the microphones on weekends.
That's not me. Every time I come in here and I see the microphone's messed up, I
So is it
immediately
Tom
say,
Albert?
Listen, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Is it TA?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm wondering. You can rat him out, CT.
We have a tight locker room.
Okay.
No
All
comment
right,
at
well,
this time.
as someone that follows them yet. So.
Ray, you love visiting baseball stadiums.
I
you
do.
talked about your love of this with Anthony last week.
Yes.
So I want to ask you this as we talk about the Eagles. What about football stadiums?
Football stadium.
Would you were like, I could go to any baseball stadium and see any game and watch it. You were going to go up to Lehigh Valley last week and the smoke happened.
Yeah.
Is it the sport or is it the venue and the vibe?
I think
the
it's
rabid versus the relaxed. Because I'd much rather go to every football stadium.
No, I think there's so much unique about the different, and there's just so many ballparks, like beyond just the big leagues, where you're getting so many unique, different hometown feels
Like
to those
Edenton,
places. Yes.
Where
loved
you worked in
Edenton.
the summer.
Yes, that was great. That was a lot of history there. I think a lot of it's the history of the ballparks, especially with all the football stadiums. You know, there's a lot of them that are just feel a lot more commercial at this point. I'd love to see some of the new ones, like SoFi. I feel like it'd be an interesting thing to see, but I don't think there's I'd love to see Lambeau. Lambeau would be one that I'd put on the list because of the history.
So
I think it goes more to the town and more to the feel around the organization, the feel around the team, than actually the
What was it,
stadium.
Edenton, North Carolina?
Yes.
What was the team's name?
The Steamers.
Why is that?
Roll clams, baby.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I mean, I think they
Steaming
just
clams.
roll
roll
clams.
clams?
Roll
Really?
clams. Yeah.
Do clams
I like
roll?
Clams don't roll.
All right,
Clams sort of
man.
just lay there, right?
I saw
mean-
them in SpongeBob. They fly.
Okay, so let me ask you this. One of my students is taking your spot this summer, right?
That's correct.
Or is it two of my students?
There are 2 students down there. One of them is in my old spot.
One is in your
Yes,
old spot.
One's in that league.
Okay, well, tell me what that job entailed.
It was director of broadcasting media relations. So you're calling every game, and then you're doing all the media relations work, and then a bunch of miscellaneous crap.
So you do the media notes and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
all that stuff. And then when there's rain delays, you pump the dugouts, pull tarp, and then you're also in charge of walk-up music. A lot of miscellaneous stuff.
Wait,
like
you were
that.
on the tarp crew?
Oh yeah, big time.
How did you do that when you're broadcasting a game?
Well, that was more leading up to the game. So,
Oh, okay.
So I was more tarp crew early, and then occasionally when you'd have the rain delay, we do a little rain delay. Oh hey, we're gonna take a quick break here on the YouTube channel. You might see me wander down out of the press box, go pull tarp, and
What do
then
you
get
mean
back up.
pump the dugout?
So we had one dug. It's an old stadium. Stadium was built in the 1930s. So
Get water in there when it rains.
oh, water, it would flood. So I
Yeah.
got to go down there and help as they pump out. They got the sub pump, everything pulling out. I got a whole world of experience down there.
That's
Great.
amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun
Great
time.
experience, eh?
Awesome experience. Would love
That's
to go down
awesome.
there and see my people.
There you go. You should go down. All right, final question.
Final question.
Bob, what do you think about limited training camp public practices? And more importantly, fans being charged to attend them, even if it's for charity. We grew up in a different era. Connor, like this would be almost common for Connor and Ray, for Ray's generation, and Haley, this is common. What do you think about it?
I don't mind charging for a charity. Maybe once a camp.
$5-10.
Move it over to Lincoln Financial Field and, charge people to come in and all the money goes to charity. Great. I hate that they went from everyone being open to all of them being closed pretty much. There has to be a happy medium there somewhere. I understand the right for privacy that they so want because they're afraid somebody's going to pick up on some plays and this and that. So I would have at least half of them open to the public. At least half. Maybe even more. 75% open to the public. Other times you want to keep it private. Okay, great. But to take that away from the fans, that sucks. Because a normal family can't really afford to go to not a normal family, but, family of four, whatever. It's hard to afford to go to an Eagles game, to pay all that money. So the closest they'll get is training camp.
I guess they can't figure out how to get them logistically, Connor, into the training facility because they don't have the parking for it and everything.
Yeah, that would be the tough part. I mean, the nice thing about Lehigh was you had all the room.
Well, no,
to
you
go
got
in.
it right.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess you could hold more at the link. It's not like you're traveling that far to go there. I don't know. The tough thing is probably setting up the facilities and getting all the people in there that you need, like vendors and stuff like that. It's just logistically, if they don't feel like they have pressure from the fan base they won't. And I don't know that many people in the younger generation care all that much.
When we were little, Bob, when your dad would have been sort of in his heyday of work, I think the Eagles were at Widener for training camp.
I remember a Widener, yeah.
They went to Widener, then they went to Westchester.
Westchester, right.
And they were at Westchester for many years, and it was awesome. Like, it was fantastic. Then Lehigh came, and Lehigh was more of a vacation, get them away from the area a little bit more remote, but it was awesome up at Lehigh. It was great. And now it loses all that energy.
It does. And those were spectacular. I remember covering Eagles training camp when they signed Terrell Owens and going up there, and there was like 20,000 people up there for training camp. And it was, 2-a-days. You would bring your lunch and coolers and stuff, and after the morning session, you go back to the parking lot and, have some lunch, have a couple beers, whatever, and then go back in and watch the afternoon session, which might only be non-pads and scripted stuff.
But a chance for people to see the players. And
players loved it. Players, they did. I mean, no player loves training camp, but they like to have fans there. It takes some
it
of the...
energizes it.
They loved it then. Would you love it when everything you do is on social media?
What do you mean?
Well, you love to interact with the fans. What you don't love is coming off the practice field to 5,000 tweets about a ball you dropped in what would have been an otherwise
you know what? I never once gave that a thought. And that's the truth, too. That really is weird. Like, is our players going to constantly be abused about what they didn't do well?
Yeah.
There you go. Connor has it there for you. 5 questions, Eagles questions with Kincade today. 1 month to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Connor's got some thoughts. He's the host of the Locked On Phillies podcast. He's in for Egan. Bob's back. Haley's here. Ray Dunn's here. John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. If you're John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. The team at Polites Florists sent along some get well flowers. Make our house smell beautiful. Absolutely
if you don't
beautiful.
have allergies, yeah, that's a great thing.
Are you allergic to these?
I don't know if I'm allergic. We'll see in a couple minutes.
I'm going to move them from Bob then. Really, roses, eh? I do not do lavender. These are beautiful roses from Polites Florists. You heard Polites sponsored the whole weekend of programming on The Fanatic, right?
Absolutely. They're
Nice.
our weekend sponsor.
They're a Delco staple. Absolute staple, but they can take care of Montgomery County too and areas of Chester County also.
So we went to a farmer's market down in Avalon this weekend on
I'm
Saturday,
going to
right?
move these
No,
for a
leave them
second.
there.
I don't
They're
want you
fine.
to get sick, though.
It's fine. I'm not going to get sick. Leave them there. They look good.
It'd be funny for the show if you got sick. Leave it
There was a house across the street from the farmer's market that had a sign over the garage that said Delco. I saw it when we went in and I laughed. Then I go back to the car and there's a guy sitting on the front porch with a T-shirt that says Delco.
You thought it was
I said to
you
my
thought it was
brother-in-law.
Casey.
No, I said to my brother-in-law. I said I never knew a county that had such proud people that live in it as Delaware County.
The entire country knows Delco. It is a brand, and more importantly, it is I would consider it a lifestyle. I think if you're from Delco, like it's weird is that the amount of people, my wife can't get over it. The amount of people that you can do the connection, sort of like the Bob Cooney thing, the amount of people you can do connections with when you hail
You say you're from Delco?
when you hail from Delco.
Yeah, I could see that.
You can find it out. Remember, all you Villanova students, the vast majority of your campus is in Delco. So you're Delco people. This is great. It's a beautiful thing. You should wear that as a badge of honor. Gotta love it. Why do you shake your head at that, Connor?
I just have a certain reverence for people from Delco. I love the way that county exists and the brand that they've built from themselves.
It's an amazing brand.
Yeah, it really is.
On election night, I don't know if you've ever seen it from the last two elections. They've literally, because Pennsylvania was hanging by a thread on the presidential election, the last two, 2016 and 2020. They have the thing. There is a YouTube collection of all the times that the national networks are mentioning Delco. This is Fox. Here's CNN. Here's NBC. Here's ABC. And their experts are looking at a state of Pennsylvania. They're like, well, this area here known as Delco, that everybody's there and how much it swings. Even Jimmy Fallon plays with Tina Fey, plays the two girls from Delco. Did you ever see that skit, Bob?
Yeah.
From Saturday Night Live?
She'll wear a Villanova jersey.
And she'll do hoagie. Yes, Tina Fey wears the Villanova. She'll wear the Villanova gear, and then Jimmy Fallon is the more rough girl from, I think she's from Clifton Heights or something that Jimmy plays the girl from Clifton Heights. I hope that they still allow that stuff to go on because that is good comedy. And a lot of fun there. And thank you, Polites Florist. Appreciate it. And appreciate our weekend sponsorship there, too. Hey, you may not always need a new water heater, but when you do, choose Bradford White. Bradford White is built to be the best. And, Bob, if this starts bothering you, if the smell bothers you, you tell me. And I'll move. Not
Yours or
mine.
the flowers?
Mine's fresh.
Oh.
I'm fresh as a daisy. It smell wonderful today. I can, you get the new, when you put the new fragrance of deodorant on?
Why are you looking at me?
Well, you're lost. You're lost on that. You have no smell.
No sense of smell.
I can't imagine not being able to walk into a home like on Thanksgiving when someone's been cooking for like 3 hours and you're still 3 hours to dinner and the house just smells ridiculously awesome.
That's my favorite. It's one of the
great
reasons
smell.
it's my favorite holiday. I put the turkey in around 7:30 in the morning. I usually go to a football game at 10:30. I come back and the smell of the house is just outstanding.
Oh, man.
Outstanding, Connor.
rub it in.
I'm sorry that you can't.
You can't smell it at all.
Smell.
Okay, someone's got fresh baked cookies in the oven.
Or last night.
Is this a question?
No,
I
someone
can't
puts
smell
fresh.
anything.
There's fresh baked cookies in the oven. Someone,
That's a good smell.
you can't smell it. But I mean, Connor, how do you know what you like if you can't smell it?
I don't. What do you mean? Know what I like as far as smells?
Yes.
I don't know. I have to use my other senses to determine whether or not I like it.
Now, last night we had a little scare in the Cooney house. Whereas,
happened?
Did you have a rat like Haley?
no, Donna came and she says, I think I smell gas.
Oh, no, that's bad.
So I went into the garage and I smelled something, checking around. I just wasn't positive. So I called PSE&G and they came out right away.
Okay, so they come right away, right?
Yeah,
Did
they were
they tell
great.
you to get out of the house, though?
Yeah. Not out of the house, get out of the area. So I made my whole family get out.
Okay.
And I waited around for the guy to come, and everything was fine. It was.
What was it,
minor. It was the hot water heater. When it turned on, just for some reason, it gave a smell.
Wasn't when the hot water heater sometimes can be the where someone gets a carbon monoxide?
Could be, but all the
I'm not
tests
sure what
that
it
he
is.
took or whatever, nothing came back.
Yeah, we have the right next to the Bradford White. We have the detector that tells you if you've had if you're having that sends off the alarm that you're having the carbon monoxide leak. And one Christmas Eve, we had it started going off,
We had that happen.
and it was the battery in the carbon monoxide detector.
Exactly what happened to us. Talked about
Christmas
it last
Eve?
night with my neighbor. It wasn't on Christmas
Oh,
Eve.
ours was Christmas Eve,
But two
and it was
fire engines came.
And we're thinking, oh crap! It
Yeah.
was the batteries in this carbon monoxide.
That's exactly what happened with us. The guy came out, the fire guy comes out with all his equipment on. He's like, and we're all sitting in the car out there. My
And
whole
you're wondering
family.
what's going on.
And he's like, yeah, you got to change the battery, dude. And he wasn't mad. He was very nice about
we
it. but-
change. We Christina makes us change the batteries of the carbon monoxide detectors when we change the clocks. She makes us put in new batteries.
Oh, that's smart.
And we have a couple of the smoke detectors have a battery backup. They're electric smoke detectors, but they have battery backup in case the power is out. Same thing. We got to change them every time you change the clocks. So twice a year, change the clocks.
That's very responsible. That's a good way to do it.
But what if the batteries aren't? See, now I think of it
How
this
much
way.
are you spending on batteries? Come on.
Come on, John.
Really?
Open up the wallet. Better safe than sorry.
They say George Washington squints when it from the light.
Open your wallet.
Hey, Cotter, you got some stuff for us. 1 month to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and I'm not thinking we're going to see a bunch of fills.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we've got the All-Star Game coming up on July 11th, if you haven't looked that forward. So we got a month. And I was thinking the other day, because of Nick Castellanos' exploits, I'm like, well, he's got to be the right fielder for the National League in the All-Star Game. And then I start looking around baseball and I say, National League has some really good individual players this year, to the point where there's some spots that it's going to be really tough to make it in. I was thinking about the rest of the roster, and I say the Phillies have the name recognition, but how many guys do they have that you could really expect to be a part of an all-star roster this year for the National League? Because to me, it's only two. And I told you one of them already. Obviously, Castellanos deserves it.
Nick
right.
Castellanos, I'm going to say it. I think he deserves. It's either him, and the only other person I could potentially think of would be Craig Kimbrell.
So Kimbrell is close.
He's close, but I would go Castellanos being their only representative.
I think Alvarado deserves a nod this year. I know he
It's
had
not
the-
based on last year.
Missed too much time.
He missed too much time.
I
Yeah.
think the numbers are still good enough, and you still have a month. Could you imagine if he does this for another month? I think he'll have enough.
But it's not. You can't. Like, I understand it. I think you're looking at it, though. You're also basing it on last year. And
No,
you
I mean,
can't.
he started off the season with like a strikeout streak. Where
Oh, it was
he struck out
amazing.
his numbers are unbelievable. When you look around National League relievers, he's one of the best left-handed arms. I mean, just in all of baseball right now.
He is, but the missing of almost a month, I can't.
You
no,
can't.
I
That's
can't do
too long.
that.
That's too
Okay.
much time to be out for a guy who doesn't pitch every day.
All right. So anyone else besides Kimbrel, Alvarado, and Castellanos?
Harper might get there just because he's Harper. But
we
again,
can't
you're
give it to
talking
Harper
about
because of the missed time.
No, Harper can't
you
be.
would let me finish.
Sorry. I apologize.
Harper, no, because he's missed too much time.
So what?
It could be it. I don't.
That's it.
Kimbrel's good by you, John.
Castellanos is the only guy who deserves to be there,
And
hands down.
I mean, it's not like he's overwhelmingly like Castellanos should be on the cusp.
What's he batting? 312 though.
312, 8 homers, 38 RBIs.
That's pretty
That's
good.
a nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice. But it's built up so much more. Like it's a great season, and that's good. That's what he's. Good for him.
And
But
remember, also, by the way, sorry, outfielders don't get picked by position.
Right.
You just get outfielders. So he's gotten a better opportunity because of that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I really like right now.
Or worse.
What is the leader in runs batted in is 55. Well, that's in, and that's not in the National League.
Well, I think
If I would-
Bohm's
if
still
I would
leading the
go-
team in RBIs, right?
No, but I'm talking about if you were talking about National League RBI leader right now, and he's going to be out, is Pete Alonso, 49. J.D. Martinez with the Dodgers has 47. Nolan Arenado has 45. I mean, it's pretty good. That's a damn good year.
Yeah, and the tough thing is you look at like some guys who had good starts, like Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm. There's too much competition in those positions. Third base in the National League is going to be impossible to pick somebody. Like there's so
pretty
many
crowded.
guys. Riley, Arenado, Boehm is probably way down on that list. Max Muncy's had an incredible year. Like there's so many guys available at third base. The Phillies, despite getting hot, and they could be a really good team heading into the All-Star break if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, keep playing well.
They just don't have that many guys that are having All-Star level seasons.
It's one of the toughest streaks they're going to be in right now. This is a tough stretch. This is a ridiculous, like as far as just it's a challenging stretch. Diamondbacks best team in baseball in the National League, tied with the Braves, and 7 of your next 10 games are against the Diamondbacks and the Braves.
Yeah,
So you got a chance that you have to clamp. But then after that, you head into a stretch of Mets, Cubs, Nationals. You play the Rays in there. But then you finally get another shot at the Marlins.
Yeah. You know what this says to me, though, is when I look at, okay, you don't have a lot of All-Stars. Now I look at the guys that have been All-Stars in the past or at their best could be an All-Star level talent. I say this team hasn't even remotely hit their ceiling yet.
Oh, no. Yeah, they haven't hit.
And that should be a good feeling considering how well they're playing right now.
You're absolutely right. Turner has just come on lately. Castellanos has been your only real consistent. And for when he's played, Harper's been amazingly consistent
Yes.
this year.
Well, Alec
But
Boehm
Real Muto hasn't hit yet, really.
Alec Boehm should knock in 85, 90 this year
Right.
on the pace that he's on, as long as he's not hurt again.
Yeah. He's more a victim of his position.
I honestly think Stott, Boehm, and Marsh are the trifecta of stories past Castellanos. The 3 youngsters looking like they are answers in this lineup going forward. It has totally changed my perspective on where I think this franchise is going, because I feel confident that all 3 of those guys could be part of the long-term solution here.
You should. There's no reason why they shouldn't be.
Hey, the 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster and a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. And for details, go to Bagster.com. If you missed the announcement earlier today, you need to go in today and take off Monday, July 31st at Turtle Creek Golf Course in Limerick, Pennsylvania. It'll be the 2023 Charity Golf Classic, the Fanatics Charity Golf Classic, benefiting the American Association for Cancer Researchers John Kincade Scholarship Fund. Tee times at 11 o'clock. Lunch and dinner are included. Every player gets a pair of tickets to FanFest 2023. You can reserve your spot now at 97.5thefanatic.com. And if you have not played Turtle Creek, it is a place. And Bob, I wanted to get you guys up there. Turtle Creek's one of my favorites because it is just, I love it. And I think it's going to be great for a charity event because it's not one of those punitive, really narrow courses. There are probably 2/3 of the holes. They've got some challenging par 3s.
I've never played there. I don't
It's beautiful.
think.
Great track, but there's some wide open tee shots too. Like Ricky Bowe is going to be salivating, and he's played there. Jamie will try to be ultra aggressive because there's some holes where you can really get after it and go for it. And in a scramble, Connor, that's who you're looking for, right? You want to be able to have one guy that's going out of his shoes.
Yeah, you got to have someone who can hit the ball out there 280 plus, and Jamie can do that.
And there's lots of play. Well, Jamie has to just keep it in bounds.
Well, it'll go 280. I didn't say where it's going.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is such a fun track, and we hope you're going to be there, and we hope you're going to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to being there. I will not be able to golf that day, but we'll do our show there. Anthony will do a show there. So Monday, July 31st, you are taking the day off of work, and you're coming on out and joining us for the Fanatics 2023 Charity Golf Classic, which benefits the John Kincade Scholarship Fund from the American Association for Cancer Research. So come on out for that. We'll have a great, great time. So tonight, Game 5 of the finals, Bobby. Denver's going to win a title. They were plus 1,500 before the playoffs to win the NBA title.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah, it's amazing the brand of basketball they're playing. Good team basketball with a couple of guys that are playing like stars. But altogether, just a brand that hopefully is a copycatted brand, and I'm talking about this city, whereas your big man in the middle becomes a better ball mover, a better ball handler, in that he's looking for other players, in that it doesn't get stuck to him all that often. He can still get his, but they're going to have to come up with a different style of basketball this year. And it was funny. I was on the beach with a college coach this weekend, and we were talking about the Sixers, and he was like, "I just don't understand why they don't move more." And he runs an offense that is very high motion and all, and he thinks it could fit in perfectly with Embiid. So it'll be interesting to see what Nick Nurse brings in here.
Well, what do you think Nick Nurse brings in here?
I don't know. Some of that, hopefully. As frustrated as we are and talk about players the way we do and this and that, we have to remember that they were up 2 with 4 minutes to go in a basketball game to move on to the third round. They were up 2 with 4 minutes to go in a basketball game. That's how close they were.
Oh, yeah.
And we do forget about it, and rightfully so, because we're so pissed off that then all of a sudden people were absent the last 4 minutes. People didn't show up for Game 7, whatever it may be. Can Nick Nurse be that guy that if you give him a 2-point lead with 4 minutes to go in a Game 6 at home, and you have a chance to move on to the next round, that he makes better calls that get you there? Maybe he is. But as frustrated as we all are, and this isn't a cheerleader or anything, it's factual, they were that close.
I hate hearing how close they were that night.
I hear you.
Because I was there and I was ready to puke.
Wow.
I'm ready to puke. It was terrible.
Wow. It made you want to
Yes,
puke?
it was terrible. Yes, because you were at home and you had everything going for you, and you played like crap for the majority of the night. And you were right there with a chance to win it, and you once again came up tiny. You just came up so small. And Pat's not here for that crack, but I mean, you came up really small.
Yeah, that's.
And I don't want to hear that they were close. I know what you're saying. You're making a point of it, but I don't want to hear that they were close because they crapped the bed. Like they literally came up gutless. When they were challenged at the most important part of their season, they had no answer for it. And to me, that just gets me.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's so weird. I don't know why it is, how it all came about. But maybe, just maybe, that you have a coach in here who knows how to close out games better than maybe the previous coach.
Okay.
And maybe, just maybe, he brings in a system that's not as easily stopped, offensive system, by opponents as the last coach seemed to be in important series, games, whatever it may be. I'm looking forward to seeing what Nick Nurse does.
I don't think that's a bad way to look at it.
I mean,
I don't think I don't think that's an unrealistic way to look.
Well, the weird thing is it's almost how you have to look at it. And we keep talking about it, whether you want Harden or not. I understand both sides of the story completely. But then you have to go to the next part of the story, which is, well, what else can you do? We may have to say, well, they're going to run it back because that's the only thing they can do. So will a new head coach make that much difference? We'll see.
I don't want to hear that. The one thing I don't want to hear, too, is that I will admit that I was wrong. Jokic has proven everything. He's proven every single doubter wrong. Every single person who thought Embiid was better than Jokic, and I'm raising my hand, who dared to argue that, you've been proven completely wrong. Not only what he does to elevate his teammates, far superior. What he does under pressure when everybody's trying to find ways to shut him down, far superior. Jokic has put that argument to bed permanently.
He's put that argument to bed this year.
He's going to be an NBA champion.
He is.
He's put it
this
to bed.
Season.
He's put it to bed permanently.
Let's not forget what he did the past couple seasons before this as an MVP with a solid team out there in Denver. Let's not pretend like it can't happen again after this season. I'm not trying to say it's a flash in the pan, but pretending like that's not a possibility is unfair.
Well, until Joel Embiid does anything in the postseason, it's not even. You don't even bring it. You don't even bring up their names in the same sentence.
Jokic was having trouble getting out of the first round.
Okay,
out in the West. Embiid's having trouble getting out of the second round. Now this year, Jokic clearly better in the playoffs.
And he's going to have a championship.
I understand. I get that. And that is
over.
It's not over though, because they're not done playing. Right now, he's the better player. But in the past, you could have argued it was Joel Embiid if we're going by playoff
And
success.
I did argue it.
I think it's a fun little back and forth. The juxtaposition of these two guys' careers is going to be super interesting when everything's all said and done. Because I still think there's a world where Joel Embiid ends up as the better legacy player than Nikola Jokic.
Then you're going to say it's going to have to begin and end with a Sixers title.
Totally, yes.
Just to get in the same breadth of conversation.
Right.
Well,
I don't see that, though.
This is Jokic's eighth year in the league.
I got you.
If Embiid takes you to a title next year, then we're saying the same thing, maybe.
Exactly. And
describing him the same way, not comparing, but describing.
No, I got you on that.
He can win another
sense.
MVP. Then he's got 2 MVPs and a championship, and Jokic has 2 and a championship, and you have the same exact resume.
But I don't see it.
That's fine.
I mean, talking about the Sixers winning an NBA title to me is completely mythical right now. Unless I'm going to see Nick Nurse come in here and do some miracle worker routine on. He's going to make James Harden be 8 years younger.
Yeah.
And he's going to teach him how to close out games when the pressure's on. But that Embiid's going to show up healthy in the playoffs. And more importantly, he's going to show up when pressure's on in the playoffs. He's going to come through. God bless you, Nick Nurse.
All fair points. Like, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying Denver last year was more mythical to talk about a championship than what it is to talk about a Sixers one right now.
That is fair.
And it's happened. So, hey, we'll see.
Jokic, games played. This is pretty cool. Sorry, John, real quick.
Go on.
Games played, Jokic. 80, 73, 75, 80, 73. Shortened season, played all 72. 74, this year 69.
Nice.
Availability, part of ability. Like, he's there a lot.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's there for his teammates. He's there and he's available and he's ready to play. And he comes through more importantly when they need him. He's making what was the list Jamie had the other day? That the Jokic is part of 4 of the top 16 assist combinations, Bob. Leaders in assist tandems. Okay?
All right.
Jokic is involved in 4 of them, of the top 16.
Oh, is that right?
In the NBA.
How about that?
Embiid will never see that. He'll never sniff that.
Well, Embiid was involved in one of them.
But it's ISO ball. It's that isolation ball that I just hate. It's a bore. I hope Nick Nurse does this for me, Bob. The brand of basketball. I hope he changes the brand of basketball.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
All during the playoffs last year. Why is your fastest player, your scariest player with the ball in his hands, standing in a corner shrugging his shoulders for endless possessions? It just can't happen. And I think that's high on Nick Nurse's list, is to get more people involved, get this offense moving a little bit better, and so on and so forth.
I don't understand how this team can be so bad against this team. I'll tell you the teams coming up. John Kincade Show, 9 o'clock hour, brought to you by the Bagster here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Love this song. Not a banger, though.
No?
No, it's not a banger.
I mean, every time it comes on, you
It's a
tell
great
us how
song.
much you love it.
It's a great song.
That certifies a banger.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it does. I'm going to have to agree with Connor on this.
Bangers are subjective. It's what you like.
Okay. The banger just doesn't seem like it. Seems like it has to have a more heavy beat to it.
No, like
That's a great song, though.
if I hear like in the right setting, I don't know, a good Taylor Swift song, that could be a banger.
Okay, what would be one for you?
Oh, it
Of
depends
Taylor.
on the day, but maybe like a good little blank space.
Oh, I love
is
that.
a great one.
I love that.
Yeah.
Works well. Hey, this 4th of July, the rockets, red glare, and the bombs bursting in air are brought to backyards across America by Phantom Fireworks. Visit fireworks.com for a location near you. Now, I know that some of our neighbors outside of our neighborhood have obviously already gotten into the fireworks because there's already been like 2 weekend nights. One of her Memorial Day weekend and another night when there's the fireworks going off. Nice sort of dig them. Nikki Foles does not.
Yeah, it sucks when you have a dog that doesn't like them.
She does not like them.
We had some fireworks going off on Thursday night.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe, like you said, people practicing
Getting
something. I don't know.
You have to practice for 4th of July? For the
Yeah.
week, for Independence Day
Of
week?
course.
It's practice?
You get your reps in on the grill. You got to do some air
Well,
work.
that's different on the
Pretend like you're
grill.
flipping a spatula and everything.
Hope Bob's got that going. The grill.
I do. I cooked some chicken last night.
Because Cooking with Cooney's got to come back now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had we had 3 huge chicken breasts last night that I cooked. One without any preparation, just kind of buttered it up a little bit. The other 2 I made, I did barbecue sauce.
Okay, how does a non-seasoned chicken breast, it just tastes, I guess, very clean, very fresh, very...
Yeah. Yep. And I buttered it up so it was very moist.
You put it in a salad? What did you do
Oh,
with the...
you could-
What did
no,
you
we
do
ate
with
it-
the...
No, had it as the main course. We also had egg salad last night because some people in the family like that. We
I am
also
not an
had-
egg saladsman myself.
Oh, egg
We had
salad.
pasta salad also, regular
Yes.
salad also. We had some corn on the cob, Jersey corn on the cob. Oh,
Trash.
yeah, baby.
Now, do you make street corn?
Shut up. What?
Do you make street corn?
Street corn?
You know what street corn is, don't you?
My mom makes street corn.
Corn that
Oh, my
you get
gosh.
on the street?
It's stormed. No, it is corn on the cob. You season it up, you butter it up, and then you take you shave it right off with. A friend of mine has the little device that just you take on a
knife?
thing. No, it's like a blade just for it.
Oh,
like a
really?
corn
Kinda
shaver?
corn-
and you shave it down on the cob, and they'll do that, and then you take that, and then you put something in it when you put it in the bowl. You put an extra, like I guess it's like a little bit of oil or something, just to sort of
There's
get it all
some like
together.
sauce you can do with it
Oh
too.
my gosh,
like a little bit.
street corn.
Some like sour cream based thing.
Does
would give you a
Tunis
little
do the
kick.
street corn?
Tunis, you a street corn guy?
Is he a street cornsman?
Oh, he's
Tunis? I love
clean,
street
yes.
corn.
I take it right off the cob with my teeth.
See, now I would rather have
made
it.
for.
I'd rather have it taken off, and he's got this device, and it just goes clunk, clunk, and it takes off, and then he puts it in a bowl. Oh my gosh,
Well, I do that.
Carlos.
I do that for Thanksgiving. I told you, I get my summer corn when it's at its peak. I'll get like 6 or 8 corn on the cobs, and I'll cut them off, and I'll store that away
That's awesome.
for Thanksgiving time.
How
Is
long
Tunis
can it
bothering you in there?
How long can it stay at its peak
Well, I freeze it.
when you freeze it? But how long does that stay at
Pretty
peak?
damn good.
Really?
Yeah, oh,
so
yeah.
peak flavor.
Yeah, so then
Oh, man.
I'll thaw it out, and then I'll cook it with some butter and salt and pepper and all. Oh,
Yeah, Tunis isn't bothering me, Bob. Since he's just
Oh.
telling me how Aaron Nola's going to turn it around this year. He's a big Aaron Nola guy.
Oh, he believes that. Yes,
yes.
doesn't he?
He says, "I don't know why anyone's doubting him right now."
He's lying. How bad have the Phillies been versus Arizona? I did a piece for 97.5thefanatic.com, a little digital content. But looking at the numbers, it just absolutely baffles me. There have been 25 seasons of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball, by the way. The Diamondbacks have won 1 world championship in those 25 years. The Phillies have also won 1 world championship in that time. The Arizona Diamondbacks have 5 division titles in that time frame. So they've been a good team, but not a great team. Not a great franchise, but having a world championship in your fourth season. Like the Vegas Golden Knights can win the Stanley Cup tomorrow in their sixth season. That would be the fastest ever for an NHL team. To win a World Series in your fourth season is ridiculous. They haven't won one since. But the Phillies, I don't understand this, though. Couple bad numbers. The Phillies are 80 and 84 all time versus an expansion team of the last 25 years, Arizona. That's not good. That is really not good. You have a losing record against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like, that to me doesn't even seem like it could be realistic.
Yeah, that's not good.
You are 34 and 45 all time in Arizona. They used to call it something before they called it Chase Field. I think it was Bank One Ballpark or something. Now it's Chase Field. They're 34 and 45 all time at Arizona. I mean, they've won 43% of their games. By the way, that's exactly what their all-time road record is as a franchise, is 43% on the road, which is terrible for a franchise. They are 4-12 at Arizona since 2017. That's incredibly bad. And the Arizona Diamondbacks haven't been that good during that time frame. And you're 4-12. You're playing .250 baseball in an opposing stadium since 2017. Incredible. You haven't won a season series versus Arizona since 2015. That's incredibly inept.
It is.
Because Arizona's not been good.
It just shows you how weird baseball is, doesn't it? I mean, why?
That doesn't make any sense.
Why would they have a losing record in a full season of play, pretty much, against the Arizona Diamondbacks?
It's a full season plus 2.
Yeah.
80 and 84 for an expansion franchise that was born 25 years ago. You have just as many world championships as them. I'm going to guess here, Arizona has more division championships in that time.
Oh, I'd be surprised.
They have 5 since 97.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they had more
Okay,
than
wait a
the
minute.
Phillies.
How many of the Phillies won since 97? 2007, or is it 5 for the Phillies? 8, 9, 10, 11.
Right, that's
They have
4 in a
4.
4-year span.
And none else.
7, didn't they? Have,
No,
had
they didn't
7.
win.
No.
You're right. They tracked down to get in, but yeah.
Come on,
But I mean, it's...
I don't know. All the seasons run together.
No, but
Okay, so
7,
maybe it's closer than I thought.
though. I mean, it still is. That's pretty incredible, though, when you think about it. Arizona, but you're 80 and 84 against the Diamondbacks, but you can't win in Arizona. Ricky brought it up the other day, Bob. When he might have brought it up when you were here or not, because he came in again on Friday for a little bit. He says part of it, there's sometimes extracurricular activities that go on when you're in Arizona. Guys will golf. Guys will get out and do stuff. And then they go in and they play. They go from paradise out there into that mall, that arena, which is just a giant warehouse. And that sometimes it takes the life out of them. I'm like, that's terrible, if that's true.
Yeah, you could find fun anywhere, though. I mean, I haven't been on the road a lot. I mean, you can, if you like to eat certain types of food.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. Ricky has more experience of being on the road in Arizona and know what the fun is than I do.
But it's
I
like,
guess.
I mean, that there could be a distract. I love the desert. I love Arizona, so I'm a huge fan of out there. I could absolutely do that 2 or 3 months a year. Could live out there. Not in August, not in July, not June, not even June, for that matter.
Well, they don't talk about it a lot, but it's a dry heat. Nobody ever mentions that.
That how dry the heat is.
It's a dry heat.
It's interesting. Get the dry heaves hearing that joke. But I'm calling this. You've crawled yourself back to 1 game under 500. And both teams you're going to face on this road trip, Arizona and then Oakland, are both riding 5-game winning streaks right now. I demand a 4-3 road trip. 4-3. You're playing Arizona. They're the best team in the National League right now, tied with the Braves. Have a 4-3 road trip. If you could go 5-2, it'd be delicious. But 4-3 means you come home for a huge homestand against the Braves and the Mets back at 500. Fresh start, clean slate, and you can put the Mets maybe further back in your rearview mirror. Because that's right now. You got the Mets by a game and a half right now. You can put the Mets back a little further back, which would be a lot of fun. Because you know the Mets are going to play better ball at some point. The wheels,
Probably.
they're not falling off to like they're not going to be a 75-win team. I don't believe. The Mets.
Probably not. They shouldn't be. Alonso being out for maybe what could be up to a month.
He'll be out for the series here.
Yeah, that hurts them big time. They have that. I talk about it with the Sixers not having that it factor of winning. I don't think the Mets have that it factor of winning either. I think they're more of a, ooh, how are we going to lose this type of mindset as opposed to, we'll be okay, we're going to win this.
I think the Sixers are the Cowboys of the NBA. And I heard Anthony the other day when somebody brought it up to him, and he cringed at that, not because he said, oh, I deny it, but because it pissed him off to hear it. The Sixers are the Cowboys. They're always hyped. They're always talked about. They're always buzzed. They do nothing.
The Mets could also be the Cowboys then.
Yeah, very similar.
That's where I thought you were going to go.
Mets have been in a World Series in what? 2000 and what?
Whatever year
16?
they played the Royals, I think it was
17 or 15. Might have been 15.
15 or 16.
That's not that long ago that they've been in a World Series.
You
So,
didn't win it though, did you, chokers?
Did the Phillies choke?
Nah.
What?
9.
I think you don't. I think you do. Here's my rule for the choker label. You can't be a choker if you weren't favored.
Yeah.
If you were the underdog in the series going in, you can't be a choker. You didn't choke.
Well, I don't know if I have a layup to win a game 7 and I miss it, a wide open layup, even though I was the underdog.
Oh, that's yeah. So it's like you're talking about
the choker label then.
What if you have a wide open layup and you pass it?
Oh,
And then another player gets fouled, and then
he
you
only
lose.
makes one of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
pretty
hypothetically
good.
speaking.
Yeah. Huh. That's a good one, Connor.
You know what you are then? You're a Brooklyn Net.
That's right. Or soon to be out of the league. One of those.
Streamer on CallOfDuty.com.
I would say, you know what that is, Bob? That is the truth, though, because something can change in the course of a year. Something can change.
Yeah.
Or in the course of a season, something can change.
Sure.
So you enter the series you're not supposed to win. The Sixers were extreme heavy underdogs against Boston. I believe they were plus 300 or something like that to win that series. But they were leading the series.
They were leading the series, and they were leading Game 6 with 4 minutes to go. That kind of is a choker thing to me.
No, that does seem like a choker.
Yeah, and you had the star on the other team shooting 1 for 15 at the time, and you couldn't close out the game. I don't know. You put a label you want on it, but choker might be adequate.
Could be.
Uh-huh.
The choker. I don't know. It's weird because part of me says that you can't call that a choker. If you lose when you weren't favored to win, you could say you lost, but you didn't. But
I think it's also a feel thing. I think it can be a really subjective thing as to whether. I mean, I guess it's entirely subjective as to whether or not you choked. Like the Phillies had a real good opportunity in the World Series to take advantage of that series. They were up. They had a home game, everything. And I wouldn't say they choked because I don't think there was any part of that series where it felt like Houston was overmatched. Like Houston just felt like the more complete, better team the whole time. So it's subjective. You got to watch the series and make that determination for yourself.
I agree with that. I'll give you that.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
All right. I've got somebody on the hot seat that I'd like to expose them.
Yesterday's game has everyone talking, but one person is on the hot seat. Let's find out who.
Well, I'm going to say it's not one person, but it's one profession. The Philadelphia weather forecasters.
Uh-oh.
You have been promising us rain for days. In fact, last Friday, I got it's going to rain Friday afternoon. It's going to rain Friday night. And nothing at all. We're being promised rain today. And I don't know if your yard looks like it. Connor, you have an apartment, so it's a little different. Bob, it feels like straw. We have to be out there watering constantly. They have promised rain today. If this rain doesn't come, they should just give half of their time that they spend on weather, give it to the sports department. I want Deuces to go, Adam, Cecily, instead of you guys having 8 minutes of this hour, I'm going to take 4 of it. If we don't see significant rain today, I'm calling for the overthrow of weather forecasters for a while, like a temporary situation. The sports departments just take it over. Half their time.
I'm good with that.
I think I'm all for it. Jamie Apodi, grab the microphone right away from Cecily. Wrestle her. Take it away. Because if they get this one wrong today, supposedly it's a 100% chance we're seeing rain, and it's gonna rain significantly. It better sure as hell rain. Because there's been a lot of missed rain forecasts. H&H Heating and Air Conditioning never misses. DelcoHVAC.com. Count on the Hoke brothers. They'll take great care of you. H&H Heating and Air Conditioning.
I'm in for the rain. I'm with you.
I can't wait. We need rain.
Need it. Yep.
Nah, that's a suburbs thing.
No, we need rain.
Yeah, your lawn does. I'll have a lawn. I'm good.
How about the golf courses that are dying right now?
How about your mom's
the sprinklers. I had to play through a damn sprinkler last night when I was playing my round.
First world problem.
I
You
know.
had to play through a sprinkler.
My shoes got wet.
The sprinkler was on?
Oh, they had a bunch on. We played like 3 straight holes where there were like 6 sprinklers, the big ones going on each. So the golf courses are fine. They'll take care of that through the sprinkler. And I don't have a lawn. I just want to be able to sit up by the pool. So no rain's fine by me.
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like so the it was coming on while you were playing?
Oh, it was on while we were playing the hole, yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yep.
Well, they
Don't give the name of the golf course because that's
No, I'm not going
ridiculous.
the watering process is weird. You can't water apparently at nighttime when the sun goes down because usually that gives
Can
you
cold mold or something?
yeah, some kind of, stuff. So they have to water it during the day.
We also had a super late tee time. We got off at
Yeah.
4:20, so it was about 8 o'clock when
Okay,
the
but wait a minute.
sprinkler
The
started coming
spring. No, it shouldn't be though.
on. Oh, it was.
No, but it shouldn't be on while you have paid customers on the course.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But they were.
That's
We had-
ridiculous.
we had a sprinkler on when I played last week. Sometimes it happens.
Well,
you got to
it-
keep the course looking good.
The good thing is it only affects the people who hit the ball in the fairway. So
Good.
normally I'm pretty safe.
Well, Turtle Creek will
making
not
a
have
joke about
these
myself.
problems on Monday, July 31st. The Fanatic's 2023 Charity Golf Classic, benefiting the American Association for Cancer Research's John Kincade Scholarship Fund. We announced it this morning. You need off work Monday, July 31st. If your boss tells you can't have off, we will call your boss and get you off. Well, bad choice, Bob words. there.
Phrasing.
We will call
Gentlemen.
we will call your boss and make sure you have off that day. Tea time is at 11 a.m. Lunch and dinner are included. Bob, you will make the call.
I'm already on vacation that week.
Whoa, no. Oh, no.
If I know one thing about Bob, he's going to go to this anyway.
You never know.
I can't not go to the golf outing. of
Tea
course.
times is at 11 a.m.
Exactly.
Lunch and dinner are included. And Bob will be in vacation mode. So check it on out. It's going to be a great, great tournament. And Turtle Creek's going to be awesome. July 31st, so you need that day off. Tell them today. You can register at 97.5thefanatic.com. Get yourself registered.
Wait, I know what Bob needs to do. Bob's one thing that coach will not let him do, besides eat on air, and we've already had that fight, is a big event or whatever, have a beer or two with some listeners. What Bob needs to do is he needs to come in while we broadcast and just sit across from us and just have a beer right in coach's face.
You could, and you could eat, and you could eat too.
No, here's the better. Yeah, here's the better. I'll sit across from you, have a beer and food, and John goes, Bob, why don't you come join us real quick? And I'll just bring it with me, and I'll eat and drink
Because
right
I
on air,
invited
right
you.
in front
Because
of
I'll
Coach.
invite you.
Right.
Love it.
That's the
Yeah.
way it works.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the 39-year anniversary of a movie that I still don't get. And a movie that I will insist did not hold up over the course of time and is not funny. Ghostbusters. It had a star-studded cast and cameos from stars and a soundtrack that everybody during the summer of '84, whatever it was like, oh, it's so crazy. This is awesome. I hated the movie. I tried to watch it again. Olivia turned it off when we tried to watch it. She said, this is terrible. It's not funny. It's the 39-year anniversary. Do you have a classic movie? Because a lot of people will feel that is blasphemy. They loved Ghostbusters. Is there a movie that like people go, oh, that's a classic? And you just go, no, that sucked.
Not that I say it sucked, but it doesn't interest me all that much. Now, I did see one. I haven't seen all the ones after the first.
What's that?
Star Wars.
Oh, Bobby,
okay.
I know.
on.
Everybody has the same reaction to movies. Oh, you never saw that movie? Oh, my God, you don't like that movie? What difference does it make? We all have different tastes.
Well, your taste
I saw
stinks.
Star Wars. Okay. I got it under my belt. Great. I don't need to say anything more. No, I'm good on that. All the Star Wars, I hate to say it, but I'm out.
I can tell you that my daughter, I did not watch any of them until my daughter asked to see them. And then I just 4 or 5 liked them, didn't love them. Harrison Ford was freaking awesome. And I will still insist that Carrie Fisher and what's Luke's name?
Mark Hamill.
Are two of the worst acting performances I've ever seen in Star Wars. The first Star Wars. 2 of the worst acting performances I've
They're
ever
not winning
seen.
Oscars. They're fighting with lightsabers, John. It's action.
But they were terrible.
It's an action space adventure that everybody loved, except apparently you
never
guys.
interests me.
No,
And the
no.
Marvel
I
movies
don't
do it for
dislike
me
them, but
either.
the Marvel
movies, I'm not that into. Like, and look, I could change. One of my friends said that they took a deep dive into the Marvel movies now, and they're really enjoying them. I just don't have that in me.
I could see why Pat's the movie guy normally.
He loves Pat loves
you guys need help. I'll tell you mine. People are going to get mad at me, but I watched it for the first time like a month ago. Fight Club, super overrated.
What was I?
Fight Club.
Oh,
that movie stinks.
Well, don't give away the movie, but did you?
Well,
did it
don't give
annoy
away the movie.
No, but did it annoy the hell out of you? Because
The
somebody
movie's like
might
20
no, but
years
somebody
old.
might hear you
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, I'm going to give it a try."
It was too easy to know. Like I picked up on it very early. It was
See,
just,
now
it was
wait a
super
minute.
weird.
Wait a minute. You picked up on it because you've heard from everybody that you knew the lines going in.
Kinda.
When you saw that movie fresh, there is no way you were watching that movie back in the day when it came out, and you were figuring it out fast.
I don't know. Maybe. I guess I have no way of knowing because
you knew
yeah.
the premise.
Well,
like nobody.
sort of.
I saw that movie when it came out. Nobody in the theater was going, "Oh yeah, well we figured this out."
Well, that's because you got to be quiet. You saw it in theaters. If you were watching at home, somebody might have been, hey, guess what? That guy, I'm not going to say
That'd be
it,
like
but-
saying The Sixth Sense.
Bottom line, though, is that movie's just
I
not
got
that.
that.
It's not that entertaining.
Did you figure it out?
Donna could call right now, and she would tell you, we're watching it. We rarely went to the movies. We go there, and I said, he's dead, or whatever it was. I forget what
That
the
he was
thing
dead. Yes, he was
Tag your
dead.
spoilers.
I
No,
swear to
that's
God, I called that one. I don't know how, why, or whatever, but Donald will admit that I did say that to her.
That's
right
incredible.
as it happened.
That's incredible because
Early
when
in
it
the movie, I
all
should
started
say.
coming together at the end, I'm like, oh no.
You did that in a movie, didn't you? Didn't you say that you and Christina went to a movie and you had
I
it
figured
figured
something out.
before?
I mean, she can figure out any crime like a 2020.
I thought it was with Mayor of Easttown.
Dateline.
Someone got it real early.
Well, we did not. We did not get Mayor of Easttown right. I did not get it right.
Pat might
No.
have.
Yeah,
I did not get it
that.
right.
And you know what? I was a little disappointed in that too.
I thought
to
it
be
was
honest.
I thought honestly the resolution to Mayor of Easttown was a stretch.
Yeah,
Like it was like we're going to make it so nobody could have ever guessed this. Because there really weren't the breadcrumbs to lead you to it.
Yeah, just like, oh, it's this character that nobody knows. Cool.
You know what the weird thing is that I thought it was the grieving father when I watched Mayor of Easttown. I thought it was the grieving dad. I thought they were going to do it. I thought they were going to do a Twin Peaks. Where
Never seen Twin Peaks.
Okay, well, the old TV show you would have loved. Like you would have loved if you like weird, like sort of supernatural stuff. That sounds like you like that
love
stuff.
that.
Okay, you would have loved Twin Peaks. But it's too old. It's 30 some years. But there's a girl gets killed in the very first episode, and Kyle MacLachlan has to come to town and investigate in this weird town, Twin Peaks. It's in Oregon or Washington.
Oh, okay.
But it's in like logging country, and everything is freaking weird there.
Well,
And he
that's
has to-
just the Pacific Northwest.
and
in
there's
general.
a murder. There's a murder that involves, and the young lady gets killed. And then there's another murder, and the killer. Somebody says it's Bob.
What?
Bob.
Cootie?
Bob is the killer, and you keep hearing that Bob is the killer. That Bob is the demon that roams Twin Peaks. So you watch it and you watch it and you watch it, and it's like you know that Bob is out there, and these girls get killed and stuff like that. Well, finally, like the season ender.
Are these girls enhanced?
No, they're. What do you mean enhanced?
What?
You know, Twin Peaks.
Well, Twin Peaks. They're not. No, that was the name of the town.
Okay.
But so then finally, Leland is the father of the very first girl who gets killed and everything, and he's getting dressed in the last episode, like before the cliffhanger, and he's getting dressed and he looks in the mirror and he's fixing his tie, and then in the mirror the audience sees Bob. You see Bob, you see this demon during the show, but he's like some lurking in the shadows figure. He's fixing his tie in the mirror, and Bob's looking back at him.
So Leland is Bob. Bob is Leland.
And Leland like runs the bank. And Leland is a upstanding citizen, but he's possessed by the devil.
Unbelievable.
And Bob freaks you out. Like it's just it.
Yeah.
Oh, it freaks you out.
I could see that.
No, you see this scene, and then he proceeds to beat the person's head in with his bare hands, and it's crazy. Like it's a crazy show. You would enjoy.
Sounds
it.
interesting.
Then
I'll
it got
give
weird.
give it a
Then it got weird. So, okay. So today, what is it now? A 4-game series. You guys had it. I put the over under at 4.5 for the last homestand. We all bet the under. I put the over under on this road trip at 4.5.
Over.
You go 5, eh? You go 5-2 road trip.
6-1 I'm looking for.
Holy.
I'm not kidding around.
I kind of want to go under just not to mess up the mojo, but I do think they win more games than 4.
I think they're going to go to Arizona and play well for some reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they haven't played. Like I'm sure it sticks. I like for a guy like Harper, it's got to like be in him that like okay, we never play well here. Let's
and they don't see Gallon. If they don't split with
they
Arizona,
don't see Gallon. They're lucky.
I'll be
he pitched
disappointed.
yesterday, right?
Yes.
That's great timing on that one.
Those Bishop Eustace kids.
Yeah.
That is great timing on that one.
Yeah, I think it's a split in Arizona. I think it's a sweep in Oakland, and I think you come back here very happy.
Now,
with 5.
do we want to be playing? Here's 2 theories. So I float this yesterday. Yesterday was a 4-game winning streak. Now it's 5. And I said, I can't believe it. I'm talking to my buddy, and I go, oh, man, Oakland is now playing good baseball. All of a sudden, they go on a 4-game winning streak. Now it's 5. Do you like knowing that going into Oakland?
Oh,
Why?
I love that because that team, you can't look at baseball games by streaks. Like you can in a microcosm, but when I look at a team overall, I kind of view them as their win total for the year. And I see the Oakland Athletics as a very, very bad team. So the more wins they've just stacked, to me, the more likely it is that they're going to go through a bad stretch because ultimately this 5-game win streak does not have people believing the Oakland Athletics are better than like a 100-loss team. So they're due to go on a bad stretch, and that makes me feel good.
It's one way to look, or have they figured it out?
That organization has figured nothing out.
I'm leaning with Connor on this. 162-game season. Somebody's going to win 5 in a row.
Yeah, you're going to go on out.
Everybody wins 60 games. Everybody loses 60 games. It's the other 40 that you got to figure things out.
Yeah, what is Oakland?
Well, they're going to lose.
Oakland might not win 60 games this year. That's how bad they are.
I don't think Oakland's winning 60.
What are they going to go on? Like a miracle, like 20-game winning streak
Right,
or
that's
something?
not happening.
There's
No.
no chance. That organization would never.
Yeah, their losing streak will start and end with the Phillies this week.
By the way, tracking for you the final 100 games, because you're saying, could the Phillies play 600 ball, which would, if they played 600 ball, they'd win 90 games, which I said was the target. They're playing 667.
That's nice.
They're
Like
2-1. They're 2-1 in the last 100. See if they can get things rolling here tonight.
Hey, they win tonight. They've won 8 out of 10.
It's good math on your part, Cooney.
Yeah.
What
Get
happens?
it done.
What happens in Game 5 tonight?
I don't see Miami being able to overcome this.
I do not either.
Yeah, I just don't.
And the Bet Park Sportsbook app will give me a nice payout. Should it happen? I'm begging this one to come down.
Miami's a cockroach. They're impossible to kill. I don't know.
So you think they might win tonight, eh?
Yeah. I can't write them off in an elimination game after what they did Game 7 in Boston, how they played Milwaukee. I just think they're better in an elimination game than people have given them credit for in the past, so I won't write them off. I don't think they win the series, but tonight I don't feel super confident that Denver's going to get it done either.
What's harder to kill? Cockroaches or maybe Haley's rat?
Haley's rat for sure, but that thing's got nuclear powers for living behind the stove. So I think it's definitely that rat. But only that specific
Is
rat.
Haley's stove nuclear?
I don't know how stoves work, John.
It's kind of weird of you to say that. I just think this well that Miami has successfully gone to a lot over these playoffs has run a little dry. I just don't see they have the magic. Plus, I don't think Denver's a good matchup for them. So, yeah.
So you think it's been
Denver,
a bad? You think it's been a bad
closes them out.
matchup?
Yeah, Denver closes them out tonight. And look, when you have a 7-foot or 6'11" center that can pass and score and rebound and do all the things, handle the basketball the way Jokic can, that's a tough matchup for pretty much anybody.
Spoelstra has just emerged. Is he the best coach in the NBA right now?
Right up there.
He's had a lot more success recently than Pops has had. So I don't know who he'd be competing with. Who'd be up for it? And by the way, why does Budenholzer not have a job?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I honestly don't know how aggressively he went after jobs. But it does surprise me.
There could be a burnout thing. There could be if I coach, I coach. If I don't, I don't.
Take a little time.
Yeah, some guys, one of the reasons I was so surprised Brett Brown took an assistant job down in San Antonio was I had conversations with him saying, I'm not going to be an assistant in the NBA again. Sometimes things just change.
Well, his money ended last year, right?
Yeah, but
from the Sixers.
Yeah, it did.
So maybe that was part of it.
I hope not.
I'll take that. No, I'll just take the NBA money again while it's there.
Right. No, I hear you on that. Huh? Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you being a part of the show today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Remember, support life-saving cancer research. Join us at our generous partners, Win Donation, and make a donation today to the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research, at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, because cancer research saves lives. Remember, you